It's simply a photo of
a necklace.
And the issue is, what is it? It's obvious, isn't it?
They're trees and moons and women.
No? No.
Well, can I ask you one question? It's so simple. Have you seen this?
Oh, my daughter just said that. Yes, we have. Yeah, we have.
Okay, what is it?
Penises?
So why the confusion? The answer is down to the rods and cones in your eyes.
Thanks for joining us here at Rose Quartz Mediumship podcast, where we simply adore anything and everything healing and metaphysically based. A couple of months ago, I got a necklace from a client. It was a gift around the holidays, and she brought it in and gave it to me and said that she'd walked past it and immediately thought of me. And so she wanted to give it to me. And it was such a thoughtful, beautiful gift that genuinely touched my heart. And I'm not a gift person. When you look at love languages, gifts rank as 0 for me. They don't equate to love in my mind. But this gift was really thoughtful and really genuine and really sweet. And I very much received it as love. And later that day, I had the necklace on, and I walked into a room where my husband was standing. And I saw him look at the necklace, and then this funny little smirk came across his face. And I looked at him and said, "What?" And he started laughing, and he said, "Where'd you get that necklace?" I said, "A client gave it to me. Isn't it sweet? I love it." And he just kept laughing, and he goes, "It's an interesting necklace." And I thought to myself, it's a weird response. It's a weird response to this beautiful necklace. And so I kind of cocked my head sideways and looked at him, and he said, "There are penises on your necklace, Erin." And I said, "What?" I said, "They're not penises. They're trees and moons and women." And he's like, "Nope. No, they're penises on your necklace." And I couldn't see the necklace well while it was on my neck. So I took it off and I looked at it. And I couldn't see what he was seeing. And so I sat there and I stared at it and I stared at it and I stared at it. And then all of a sudden, I could see penises on my necklace. And I broke out laughing and then pointed out to him how I see the necklace and how the woman who gifted it to me saw the necklace. And as soon as I pointed out, he's like, "Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that." And so a couple months go by, and I'm on a coaching call with one of my one-on-one coaching clients. And she kind of wrinkled her brow and looked at me and said, "Do you have penises on your necklace?" So I told her the story, and I said, "No, they're not penises." And so I held my necklace up to the screen because we were on Zoom, and I pointed out the trees and the moons and the women. She's like, "Oh, I see it." And we had this funny little exchange about it. And then later that night, I got thinking about how symbolic this was for me. If you know me at all, you know that I'm a huge believer that we will take a small number of facts and we will create a story around those facts. And that story that we create creates the meaning out of the human experience. It's something that I talk about and teach about a lot, both in one-on-one coaching as well as in any of our programs. And the stories that we tell ourselves and the way that we see the world creates the meaning out of the human experience. And I fell deeper in love with the necklace than I was before. Because that symbolism is something that I work with so deeply and coach on so deeply. We all see the world a specific way. And someone standing next to us will see the world in a different way. We're both looking at the same necklace, and we see wildly different things. And you can take out the word necklace, and you can say situation, dynamic, environment, whatever. Two people can look at the same situation and see wildly different things. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. But the way that we see the world and the story that we tell about the way that we see the world creates a feeling. It creates the meaning out of the human experience. It creates one experience to look at my necklace and think that there are penises hanging from my neck. And it creates a different feeling to think that there are trees and moons and women hanging around my neck. And that symbolism, I think, is a really beautiful one. We all see the world, situations, dynamics, people, in the way that we see them. But it doesn't mean that there isn't another story there. It doesn't mean that there isn't another way of seeing the person, the dynamic, the situation, the necklace. And there's no right or wrong answer, right? You can look at my necklace and you can say, definitely penises. Or you could look at my necklace and say, definitely trees and moons and women. There's no right or wrong. But it really made it clear to me in a very concrete way how we all see the world differently. And sometimes we just need to change where our focus is if we want to see the world differently. You can stare at my necklace and see penises. They're there. They really are. Or you can stare at my necklace and you can see trees and moons and women because they're really there. And that's life. When we look at life, when we look at the human experience, we get to see it however it is that we want to see it, and however it is that we've been conditioned to see it. Sometimes, all we have to do to see ourselves and the world in a different way is to shift where our awareness is and where our focus is. And we can easily move between the two and decide, how do I want to see the world? Do I want to see a bunch of penises? Or do I want to see a bunch of trees, women, and moons? I really appreciate you being here with us. And I hope that you have a beautiful morning, day, evening, or night, wherever it is that this podcast finds you.
I walk down Second Avenue towards St. Mark's Place, where all those people sell used books and other junk on the street. I saw my penis lying on a blanket next to a broken toaster oven. Some guy was selling it. I had to buy it off him. He wanted 20 bucks, but I talked him down. I took it home, washed it off, and put it back on. I was happy again. Sometimes I should be permanently attached, but I don't know. Even though sometimes it's a pain in the ass, I like having a touchable